Alrighty, guys, we're about to get started. Let me go ahead and open up this queue before I switch screens. All right, there we go. All right, the queue is open. Use exclamation point join to join the queue. And hi, guys. um, Hopefully you guys are doing well. Sounds like it's been a bit of a long week for everybody in one way or another. We have the new moon this weekend. I think it's on Sunday. Yeah, it's on Sunday. But I feel like I'm gonna be too tired, like busy, um, to do anything. So, because we have the new moon barking at our heels, I'm going to be using my Spirit de la Lune moon deck. This is this deck here. And before I do that, let me pull a quick affirmation card for us as a community. So go ahead, guys, use exclamation point join to join the queue. I am switching up my readings just a little bit. So one of the things I'm going to stand 10 toes down now is to, if you miss your turn in the queue, if you want to rejoin the queue, you will have to tip to rejoin. It won't allow you to skip, but it'll allow you to rejoin. So hopefully that keeps people attentive. And I'll be kind of making my basic readings pretty short and like snappy. And what I'll be doing is kind of like the first few minutes while I'm doing the community read, the subscribers can join, and then I'll just open it up to everyone. All right, we have here for our community affirmation, I trust my inner wisdom. You can see this here. And then on the back, it says, as I go about my daily affairs, I listen to my own guidance. My intuition is always on my side. I trust it to be there at all times. I am safe. So this is about trusting one's own intuition, being confident in that intuition, and understanding that I guess I'll just leave this here for now while I do the community read. And just trusting that you have the inner wisdom to basically to hone your intuition and trust it at the end of the day. All right, let's see what we have from the Spirit de la Lune. We have the Waxing Gibbous. This is the card of reflection. I feel like as a community, this is and pairing it with this card here, it's about, just overall reflecting on your own intuitive side of yourself, your inner self, and basically I would say use this as an opportunity to highlight the things that you think you're good at, right? Use that as your sounding board and your kind of your kickoff to essentially build a good strong foundation where you can feel like you can build up from. So here we have Leo. This is the hero card. Oh, I like this, paired with the reflect. Let me pull one more card and then I'll kind of talk about it all together. And then we have Scorpio. This is the shaman. So I feel like these are archetypes of our inner selves that we might want to reflect on. So as you're going through this experiment, I would say, of finding oneself both intuitively and accepting one's own wisdom, that's going to require a lot of reflection. I feel like that's kind of obvious. And then here we have the hero card. So I kind of mentioned before where you start to highlight the things that you're really good at. How can you make yourself your own hero? And how can you make yourself someone that you feel like you can see yourself as in such a positive light. And one of the things that kind of pops into my mind is like power posing. If you've ever heard of that, where you kind of like stand with like a very open posture and start to embrace some of those little small habits, because I think they go a long way. And then we have the shaman. So going back to the reflection side of things, I feel like the shaman part is just reinforcing that the fact that you probably are much more intuitive than you're giving yourself credit for, us as a community, really. And I mentioned before that we have the new moon kind of like licking at our door right now. So this is a great time to explore that more like spiritual side of ourselves and the more inner workings, the inner mechanisms of ourselves to determine what it is that kind of makes us tick. It's a great time to start that exploration. So if that's something you've been kind of wanting to do, but you haven't really gotten a chance to like dive down that rabbit hole yet, maybe this is your sign to do so. Yeah, Luke, I try not to either. Okay, so the community read is over, so I'm going to go ahead and open this up to everyone. Hot Sun, you're the only one in the queue right now, so go ahead and put your question in the chat. Might be a quiet week. I always say that, and then like everybody comes at once. You're welcome. So, Hot Sun, just know I'm probably this will be the last reading I do about you and E, just to let you know. And then also, if anybody is curious, I am using the Dreamscapes. I don't know what that was. Sound almost like a clock. I'll be using the Dreamscapes tarot. Let me get this shuffled up. And let me pull for my lovely mod here. Let me pull an affirmation for you. This is just in general, just something to keep in mind. Doesn't necessarily have to be about the reading. All right, just as an appreciation for you helping to mod my chat. So we have, I release all fears and doubts. Ooh, it's hard to read. It says, I accept myself and create peace in my mind and heart. I now choose to free myself from all destructive fears and doubts. I am loved and I am safe. Ooh, I love that. Okay, so there you go. Now let's see what's going on between you and E. Oop, there we go. What's going on? One more. All right. So we have the tower, the Fool. I must combine those, and the Devil. You have all major arcana here. This is, I feel like, a really impactful moment with between you and E, and it seems like a bit of like closure in a kind of way, but difficulty doing so. So I'm going to start in the middle and then kind of talk about everything around it. With the Fool here, it feels indicative of really wanting to start fresh or really needing to start fresh, but and you know, like kind of can envision taking that step forward, and just not being able to do so. Like the Fool here is wedged in between the Tower and the Fool, and or sorry, the Tower and the Devil here, and it feels kind of like being trapped in the cycle of like, you know, just kind of having to break up the foundation of how things are, and then overall you still build off of this sort of codependence or reliance you have on each other, and it just ends up blocking the path forward. So the tower to me indicates that this is just another moment that feels like it kind of feels like everything's fine, 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 and then the rug is kind of pulled out from under you. That's kind of what the energy of the tower feels like. And that kind of sparks the fool wanting to just, go and start fresh and all of that. But then the devil card here is, there's this almost comfortability in the cycles that we're in, even though we might know, whether consciously or unconsciously, know that they aren't the healthiest or aren't the best for us. And the devil's very much indicative of that. The devil kind of indicates, I kind of call this the sex, drugs, and rock and roll card, where sometimes that's fine if like there are no stakes and you're kind of going into it knowing that that's what it's going to be, and you're just looking for a fun time for a short time kind of thing. The devil card can be fine, but if it's for like understanding like whether there's the possibility of like a deeper relationship or a deeper connection, a deeper friendship, deeper anything of any kind of depth, the devil card to me is very much a superficial card. So I would just be a little leery about, e-messaging you, and how that will ultimately affect. I don't mean like, you guys go out and do that kind of thing. I just mean this is the card of like, it could be like really, really fun times if that's what you're looking for, or it could just be like, like reliant on the vices, where the vices might be each other to some degree. But I think though you just have to kind of, I would say that it's up to you at the end of the day, like how you move forward. But this is just the overall energy that I see. But I think that regardless of what you do, you're old. Yeah, I didn't mean like that you were hooking up. I just kind of use as an example so people understand like the superficial level of the card versus the depth of the card. It's really like, I guess if I were to better explain it, the devil, I think, is more so like you're tethered to these vices, right? Whether they're good for you or not. Usually not. But what I meant about that wasn't that you guys are like, like hookup culture. Sorry about that. Definitely more just the oh, okay. Interesting. You only work together once in a while? I don't know. Is this person distracting at work then? It just feels a little derailing in some kind of way, but I'm not sure where that comes from. Oh, he's been through a lot? Interesting. And then does he like drag you into that vortex? Ooh, I'm sore. Oh, I see. That makes sense. Like when you guys have similar projects. Hi, Luna. Alrighty, guys. So far, I have in the queue SK, The Sublime, Sophia, and Melancholic. If you didn't hear your name, use exclamation point join to join. If you are new to my channel, I am Brittany, the Cosmic Lunar Soul. Welcome, guys. I'll be doing readings from the Dreamscapes Tarot, pulling maybe 2 or 3 cards, very quick readings. I give my mods a little bit more depth, and really, Hot Sun, I don't know what kind of vibes I'm getting then. I have to sit with that. Let me think about it for a little bit. Thanks for letting me know. So if you guys would like a more in-depth reading, if you would like to get a little more clarity, a little more detail, then you can use my links in the description. And yeah, and I'll pull some extra cards, maybe some oracle cards. All right, up next we have SK. He's a nice, I wonder what this energy is then. Why am I'll have to explore that. Thank you for the feedback, Hot Sun. How interesting. No problem, Hot Sun. Sorry it didn't quite mesh up. I'll have to explore that a little bit more. Ugh. Alrighty, last call for SK. Remember, guys, if you miss your turn, because people have been joining very quickly, if you miss your turn, then you miss your turn. You can rejoin the queue if you send a tip through my Ko-fi, but otherwise, yeah. So, alrighty, last call for SK. Whoop. Welcome to the queue, y'all. Let me know if you guys are going to do anything fun for the weekend. All right, the Sublime, you are up next. And let me know if I'm missing chats. I realized, like, I saw a few, and then earlier I realized I was, like, missing a chat from Luke, of all people. So strange, but it happens. How are you doing today, Sophie? Hi, Mariana. I hope you guys had a good week. Hot Sun and Luke and I were talking about how this week has been very long. Luke was saying he was feeling a little overwhelmed, and I had, like, very exhausting training all week. So your girl's tired. And then I have to be all people-y this weekend. Yes, waiting on that weekend. Hopefully we have good weather. It's only your message in the very beginning, and it seems fine. I've been trying to double check just to make sure. All right, Sophia, go ahead, repost your question for me. Yep, as far as I'm concerned, it was really, 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 really warm today. Alrighty. Whoop. Let's see what's coming up for you. Is this gonna be the live of all, like, major arcana? Should I just do a major I don't do those readings anyway, so I just went on to the next one. Um, I have the Hermit, the Magician, and Justice. So, few things. I feel like your overall theme seems to be about putting out the energy that you like, putting out the energy, you know, that you want to attract. And in doing so, that is what you're going to bring in. So, sort of almost like exemplifying the kind of characteristics that you hope to attract to yourself. So I think that step one is really about reflecting on what that is with the Hermit, looking more within yourself, and identifying the identifying like the traits, I guess, the things that are you are drawn to, and the things that you would like to attract in someone, and see how you can complement or exemplify those kinds of things. um, and in doing that, I think that that's where the Magician comes in, and being able to manifest and create and put out like that kind of energy. The Magician is really indicative that, you know, what it is you decide that you want to come towards you, you can make that happen if you put in the right steps to do so, or if you put the right foot forward. And then Justice kind of solidifies that. This is kind of like the card of I don't want to say karma because it's so cliche, but you know, like, this is the card of really like you get what you give. So I would say that, you know, overall in general, if you kind of already have an idea of what you like, just reflect on, you know, if you've experienced that in the past. And if you've experienced that in the past, and if you've like had actually like relationships, I would say, see how, if it's been positive or like negative, and see if you need to tweak that in some kind of way. And then that's where you can do the refining, and then that's where you start to put yourself out there and hopefully get it back. But all of these are majors, so I feel like this is going to be like an ongoing thing. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, and it's not something that's going to happen like one and done. It's definitely going to be something that you have to kind of like maintain and kind of keep doing and refining until you kind of hit the right mark. Alrighty, melancholic. No, you did not miss your spot. You are actually up next. No, 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 Sophie. Not like dating around, like kind of reflecting back on previous dates and like seeing what's right. And then I don't mean like dating around, but as you put yourself out there, you start to kind of understand what you're attracting, and you refine it until you find the right combination, I guess, for lack of better words. Alrighty, there's your question. Let's see what the next 2 to 3 weeks looks like. As we enter spooky month. A lot of majors as a community. Feels like we have a lot of like shifting energies around us. All right. You have the Seven of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the, why can't I see, Two of Cups. I feel like so I'll start in the middle since this is your major arcana here. I think the next 2 weeks are going to be fairly positive for you. Um, the Wheel of Fortune is just indicative of cycles overall, but the Wheel of Fortune can also indicate that you are coming on an upswing within your cycle, within the cycle of, just romantically of things happening and being presented to you. So this is a very good sign that over the next 2, 3 weeks, things are going to start to look pretty favorable, but that is not going to be without a lot of hard work. So the Seven of Wands indicates that you need to really be active in that week in order to get to this like fortunate place. So you can't just like sit at home and stuff like that. You have to actually be doing stuff that like brings that energy in towards you. And if you do, on the flip side of this over here, we have the Two of Cups. This could mean that you find something, or at least start to feel like you're on a nice groove romantically. Two of Cups doesn't necessarily mean that you will find someone in 2 weeks. It just kind of feels more like things are going to start to level out for you and start to feel more right, like you're on the right path and moving in the right directions. um uh and just almost feeling like you've put the right foot forward and you're kind of going in the way that you have been hoping to have been going previously. I feel like I like hear cats doing something around me, but I don't see them. All right. Fire Spawn, you are up next. Then I have Mariana in the queue, and SK. If you feel like tipping to regain your spot in the queue, then you will be up next. You're welcome, Melancholic. And I'm sorry you've been feeling so down. You're matching your username. Oof. It's a quiet week tonight. I wonder if everybody is as burnt out as we were feeling earlier, or we were saying earlier. So I don't do like third-party readings. So if you're curious if they saw something, you could just ask them. But if you have another question, I'll happily read that. Jay, sure. Just use !join to join the queue. Yeah, I don't do third-party readings. I feel like it's like meddling. I finally feel confident enough to tell people I don't do that. Welcome to the queue, Jay. You can either come back next time, or if you would like to be re-added to the queue, Sublime, you can just use my Ko-fi link and tip your way back into the queue. Oops. Oh, I love this question. Let's see. I don't know why I'm being so finicky with where my cards sit. One more. Let's do this one. All right. You have the Emperor, the Strength card, and the King of Wands. So we're gonna get a whole nother reading of all majors. So overall, I feel like you are on a really good path. I'll kind of talk to the Emperor and the King here. They kind of mirror each other in a kind of way, in a very similar way. So the Emperor overall gives overall just authority and structure and just overall leadership kind of vibe. So I feel like this is indicative of you really taking ownership and leadership of your own journey and feeling more so like in control of the path that you're going down, which already is like a win, right? So this mirrored with the King of Wands. The King of Wands is indicating that you're starting to feel confident enough to be actually inspired on how to shift your journey and how to pivot when you need to pivot, or just overall how you truly envision your spiritual path. The King of Wands is the visionary of the kings. The Emperor is more so the overall authority and has the ability to create structure around them in a similar way to kings. And then in the center, we have the Strength card, which tells me that you've overcome a lot in terms of your spiritual path, most likely based off of your questions, self-doubts and stuff. And I think that the Strength card really shows that you are able to, or you're probably starting to, whether you feel it or not, but like if you take a step back and really look at how far you've come, you realize that you've been able to step into like this inner strength and being able to use that as like a sort of inner light to guide yourself down whatever path you feel necessary at the time. So yeah, I think you're on the right path. I mean, to be honest, I feel like it's really hard to be on the wrong path because our paths in life are always changing and shifting based off of what we need. And I think that being able to create that structure around you, along with still being able to be a visionary of your own journey, is really going to help you pivot when you really need to, or just keep you down the path that you're already on. So I think that, just keep on keeping on. It looks like you have all the right tools for yourself. Alrighty, Mariana, you are up next. Let me read off who I have in the queue. Excuse me. All right, so I have Jay, Ari, and Sayantani. Hopefully I see all those names right. If you didn't hear your name, use !join to join the queue. If you would like a more in-depth reading than the quick 2-3 cards that I pull, you can use my card link to purchase a mini or a full reading, and that will bump you up the line as well. Let's see what awaits you in October. Ooh, first repeat of the night. All right, last card. Here we go. I feel like as a community, or maybe it's because we're entering like the liminal times of the year, like the solstice is coming up. Monday, I think it is. The new moon is upon us. We're like entering the time period where the void is thinning. We're getting so many major arcana. I feel like as a community, we're entering a phase where things are going to become very, very impactful to us and really important long term. So I think that's why we're seeing all of these majors. This is a specialty card in this deck. I kind of consider it as part of the majors. This is the Dreamer. You have the King of Wands, and then you have the Death card. So this card, I pulled it out of the box to see what it says. The Dreamer card embodies visionary aspirations and creative inspiration, urging individuals to trust their inner visions while maintaining a balance with practical realities. I like that you have the Dreamer along with this King of Wands. I mentioned in the previous reading that the King of Wands is also a visionary. So we have More like, so the kings, let me hold these cards up so you can kind of see them. So the kings imbue like that air energy. There's a lot of thoughtfulness that goes along with it. There's a lot of logic that comes along with the king, and the King of Wands specifically uses that intelligence, that intellect, to shape his inspirations into viable, visionary like aspirations. But then paired with the dreamer, it seems very much like there is more of the creative side of that. So while the king is practical, this dreamer is more so the impractical in a really good way, where like sometimes you can over logic yourself into things. So I feel like October is going to be that month that challenges that logic side of yourself with the like more creative side of yourself, and opens yourself up to this cool like mashup of what your aspirations can be, along with like what your dreams can be and what that could really mean. And Death card kind of sums all of that up, because the Death card is our card of transformation. This is where things around you are changing. This is probably where you yourself are changing. And and that is, it kind of aligns really well with the season. It's not abnormal, in my opinion, for a lot of these, like being in this transitional time period for these things to pop up. But it seems really cool. October seems like a really fun month for you, where you kind of get to apply some of that creativity that might be bubbling under the surface, along with the practical side of some goal settings that you want to do. So if you guys would like to tip, or if you like skipped your place in line, make sure you click where's my hand make sure you click that link right there, and it'll send you to, or you can use goodness, this link. I'll post it to make it easy. All right, up next we have Jay, then we have Ari, and then we have Sayantani. So make sure you guys are in the queue. Yeah, SK, since you missed your turn, then you'd have to either come back next week, or you can use the tip link to re-enter. Just because lately I've had people like missing like 2 or 3 times, and it's just not fair to me, honestly. And Luke told me to put my foot down. I have to see what decks I want to pull out for spooky season. Might pull out my Dark Reflections deck, which is the like sister to this. Sayatani, I do lives on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I generally go for like an hour, hour and a half. Let's call for Jay. So yeah, depends on the day and what I have going on tomorrow, how long I stay on. Alrighty, let's go to Ari. We have Ari up next. Thank you, Hatsan. It was always kind of a rule, but I didn't enforce it, and Luke was like, knock it off. He and Sil and our friend Steph was like, girl, what are you doing? So I'm trying to be more, especially since I opened up my lives to like non-subscribers as well. It gets a little hectic. So like trying to keep track of like lost people. It's hard. The Space Cadets were in here. I have no idea where they went. I'm shocked Queen Luna didn't appear. So guys, just to let you know, not this coming Sunday, but next Sunday, the 28th, Priscilla and I are going to go live at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be doing an unboxing, a dual unboxing. Right now, this is your like suspenseful hint. And then next Friday, I will tell you when you guys are here. Next time, I'll tell you what the deck is that we're unboxing. Oh, you're lucky, Ari. I was about to go on to Saya. So if you like watching flip throughs, make sure you hit that subscribe. No, actually, Hot Sun, it's not. Syl doesn't kickstart decks very often. It's actually a pre-order that I did that came in. But you almost had me tell you. Yeah, good job. You almost got me. But I'm very excited to do the unboxing. It's been like sitting around waiting for it. And I'm just like, oh, I want to use it so badly. And usually you guys get the prequel of my deck. So instead, you'll get the prequel of like what we'll actually be flipping through. All right, let's see, Ari, what you need to know about next month. Ooh, Wheel of Fortune's popping back up. I feel like we have really cool energy around us as a community, just in general. Yeah, you know, I used to like thicker decks when I first got into tarot, and then I realized it's just, you know, doing these lives, it makes my hands hurt actually after a while. They're a little unmanageable. And like I remember I play dodgeball and I like jammed my thumb real bad, and I like to do the riffle bridge shuffle. I couldn't do it. And I was like, ugh. So I kind of shy away from decks that are overly thick cardstock. Hi, Rabia. Welcome. I'm doing well. How are you doing? All right. We have all repeats. How cool. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune, the Emperor, and the King of Wands. This next month seems really exciting in general. Like, so I'll just go in order. Yeah, hope you had a good week, Rabia. And if you're gonna do anything fun this weekend or looking forward to anything this weekend, let me know. The Wheel of Fortune is really like kicking this off in a really positive light. And then we have the Emperor and the King of Wands paired together. This is our second time these guys are paired in a reading, or at least pop up in a reading together. I mentioned before that the Emperor is the like authoritative person, like in terms of having the ability to set structure and limits and boundaries within their lives. And then the King of Wands, kings can do something very similar, but instead they're more about like taking command and taking actions in their own domain. And the King of Wands specifically, I've been saying it all night, I feel like we have a community of visionaries. The King of Wands is the visionary. So this is where you start to really use that intellect to shape the passions, things you're passionate about, things you're inspired by, all of those aspirations and whatnot. You start to shape them, and the Emperor help set in the rules, the ground rules, the boundaries, the building blocks, all of the necessary stuff to make the King of Wands vision a success or make it a reality. And with the Wheel of Fortune kind of kicking us off, it feels very much like you're sort of starting on a really fun note, like a really good high note is what I was looking for, a high note. So yeah, October looks really great. You have a lot of like fire energy, a lot of movement, and then just overall high energy for October. Excuse me. So guys, if you want to join the queue, use exclamation point join. Make sure you remember the exclamation point. Let me read off who I have in the queue. I have Sayantani. You are up next, actually. Then I have John, Sweet, Franglish, Anna, and Rabia. Just use exclamation point in front of your join, and then you should be good to go. You're welcome, Ari. Let's see what kind of job opportunities are coming your way. So you have the Nine of Wands, Two of Cups, Three of Pentacles. I don't know. Stuff is coming, but it's not right away. So I just want to be clear that it seems like it's a little whiles out with this Two of Cups and Three of Pentacles. But here in the like here and now, we have the Nine of hold on. Okay. So it feels like you have still a little bit more work to put in, but you are close to the finish line. Whether that means a few more applications, a few more interviews, or something like that. I think that it's just like you have just like one or two more steps to do before like the universe can kind of do its work and do its thing for you, and we can go at it from there. So Rabia, it just goes in order. So if it said you joined as 5, you're number 5. It renumbers. So I feel like with the Two of Cups and the Three of Pentacles, it feels very much like an opportunity of like, it feels like a job where you have to collaborate and work with people. And it could also be like customer facing, where you have to collaborate with a customer or work with a customer, or patients. With the Two of Cups, I wonder if this is in the like health field or something similar to that, like where you have like one-on-one patients, but then you have a team that you have behind you, where you have a working team, but then you have front-facing customers that you have to deal with. So it feels very much like it's in the health kind of field, where like, I mean, I'll just use like a nurse as an example to say what I'm talking about, but it doesn't have to be something like, it doesn't have to be that one thing. But, you know, like nursing, for example, you know, as a nurse, you work with patients one-on-one sometimes, and then, but you still have a whole entire like nursing team that you work with, and it feels very much like that. So it feels like you have an opportunity coming towards you. Once you put in, you know, the final steps of what it is you have to do, it feels like you have some positions coming that are also, I think that you're drawn to anyway. So if you have things that are in the works that you're just being drawn to, I think that those are probably going to be the things that highlight themselves to you first. And then secondary to that is if it's a job that you're drawn to that has a lot of collaborative teamwork kind of aspect to it, then those will probably be the things coming your way. But it definitely feels like it's kind of in like that healthcare kind of job. Alrighty, John, you are up next. So remember, guys, if you would like a more detailed reading, I have my mini readings and I have my full readings, and wrong command, and you can find that here. Oh, thank you for being so patient, Sayantani. All right, John, let's see how your interview will go. Next card. Here we go. Last card. All right, we have the Dreamer, we have the Four of Wands, and then we have the Seven of Wands. So overall, yeah, it feels like a very positive interview. It's going to go really well, but it might be a little exhausting looking at this Seven of Wands here, and almost, I wonder if it's going to be like, not necessarily like a group interview, but kind of like where you're aware that they have other people lined up, so you're really like fighting and wanting to stand out and put yourself forward, and you're like almost conscious of it. But I think that despite that, even though it might be a little wearisome at the end, you might feel a little exhausted. With the Four of Wands in the center, it's very, very indicative that it's going to go fairly well. So the Dreamer card to me is sort of advice to be, be a little creative, think outside of the box, stuff like that. The Dreamer is about like not leaning on just the logic and the knowledge that you have going into the interview, but really just being personable as well, and just feeling like you are bringing something different to the table than perhaps what others would bring. So yeah, I think it'll go well. Good luck. Interviewing is stressful. Make sure you hydrate and get some rest. Alrighty, sweet Franglish, you're up next. Then I have Anna, Rabia, and Leah. Alrighty, let's see what's coming your way. You're welcome, John. Make sure you guys like this video, like this live if you're enjoying this. It helps people find me, helps with the algorithm. Points if you know where that phrase is from. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups, we have the Hierophant, and then we have the Death card. I feel like there's going to be someone who comes to you that really makes you rethink how you have traditionally approached relationships. So the Queen of Wands, she is our most intuitive and most inwardly in-tuned queens. She imbues the water energy of the queen while also imbuing the water energy of the cups. And there's a lot of healing and overall you know, just overall nurturing kind of energy that is happening. It's a very calm kind of vibe where there's this air of like authority due to the confidence and maturity that comes from being the queen, but then there's this calmness that she is also. Woo. Okay, music. Let's try that again. So sorry. Um there's this calmness here that I think is being presented to you through a person. Um and I think that in doing so, we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant to me in this aspect feels like it's more so rethinking the structures that you have built around you and the traditions, how you traditionally handle things, and like being able to learn from this person and being able to take a lot of their energy and apply it to yourself. And that will in turn really shift how you navigate relationships going forward, I feel like. So with the Death card, this is, finishing off the reading here. The Death card is the card of transformation and changes and growth. It's really like the butterfly coming out of its cocoon kind of thing. And I do really see that as like almost like the door is opening up to a lot of different options for you in that regard, in terms of how you internalize relationships and accept relationships and navigate through them. This does feel a little like a ongoing journey. It doesn't feel like it has a very like start stop kind of feel. The cups energy is generally pretty slow moving, and usually when I get major arcana, I like to look at it as like an ongoing thing until you get through that cycle. So it's like as needed. It'll go on for as long as you need it to. Alrighty, Anna, you are up next. Yeah, it definitely feels very new. It doesn't feel like you're reinvesting in old things. Hey, Phantom, how are you doing? Hey, welcome back, Jay. What deck went up? I think I missed it, Hassan. What deck are we talking about? All right, let's see if you know your future husband or not. You have the Star card, King of Wands, and Ten of Wands. This definitely doesn't feel like someone new. It feels like someone you've been on a bit of a journey with already. And with the King of Wands, I'll kind of describe the person, and we can see like if that matches up with someone. So the King of Wands is kings in general are very, very smart. They're very confident, kind of have like control over their own like domain. They have control over their lives and different facets of their lives. And the Wands cards are the cards of fire, cards of passion and inspiration. So the King of Wands specifically, he's a person who is like really into taking on challenges, really big into like overall big picture kind of person. and being able to really push towards their different aspirations and inspirations and so forth. So we have on one side here the star. So it feels like this is someone that you've probably wanted to have things work out with in the past, or, really were hopeful that things would turn around or you guys would connect. But it feels almost like not that things were bad in the past, just that you you guys almost like just kept missing each other. The timing was never right, or the things going on didn't cater to it at the time, and it just wasn't ever really the right moment. So it doesn't feel like this is someone that you necessarily dated in the past, but it was someone who was always interesting to you, and that you never really got a chance to do anything. Like, you never got a chance to really like deeply connect with. And then on the flip side, we have the Ten of Wands, which also indicates that you have a bit of a journey with this person. They've been um, in your life for a while, and um, oh my god, are y'all fighting? I swear I heard hissing. Sorry. But the Ten of Wands really indicates that it has been a bit of a journey to get there. But tens are like the end of the cycle, end of the chapter. It can kind of close that book, and it starts the next chapter or next book, however you want to look at it. But I mean, he canceled the wedding. I mean, I generally like for, you guys to take the descriptions and apply it to what feels right to you. But it doesn't feel like someone, like if you were engaged to or something like that. I don't know that it's necessarily that person. It feels like someone else that you might have had in the past, that you guys have missed each other. You never really like got to the point of engagement. Alrighty, Rabia, you are up next. And then I have Leah and then Phantom. Yeah, Jay, since you missed your turn, if you would like to rejoin the queue, you can use my tip link. Gosh, canceling the wedding is diabolical. Or at least hopefully it wasn't last minute. You're welcome, Anna. I knew I heard hissing. They were having a little hissy fit, the siblings. And just a reminder, if you would like a little bit more depth, you can purchase my mini reading. If you would like a lot more detail, you can purchase my full reading, and I will do them on live for you. Or if you have details that you don't want to talk about on live stream, you can book a private recorded reading as well using my Ko-fi. Alrighty, Rabia, last call. And then I'm going to Leah and Phantom. How are you guys doing, Leah and Phantom? Hope you're having a good day. If you're looking forward to something exciting this weekend, let me know. I have a dodgeball tournament, so it's going to be very people heavy. Alrighty, let's go on to Leah. Oh, Rabia, you were here? Did your question not post? Let me check on YouTube. Sometimes Restream like doesn't show the post, but they're on like the YouTube side, which is funny. Okay. Okay. Just wanted to check. All right. Let's see what might be popping up for the end of this month into next month. All right, next card. All right. Oh, okay. So you have the Two of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, and the Four of Wands. So I feel like overall you're going to start to feel like you can chill out a little bit. Things are going to start to level out, balance out with this Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles, one of my favorite twos, because Pentacles uh really just gives off like that groundedness and stability that you get from the earth element of Pentacles. And then the twos are about balance and harmony and really feeling like you can level set and be on an even keel. So this, and it kind of tells me that you are going to be able to find some moments of stillness. And we don't like sometimes we don't get that in these periods where it feels very transitional and a lot of high energy. So it's really good, I feel like, in a sense where it's almost like you can level set yourself and then go into all the other fun stuff. So we have here the Seven of Cups. This is kind of, it almost feels like a card of wonder, where you have so many different opportunities, so many things that are like just really feel like you are emotionally like invested in so many different things. You can put your feelers out. And uh the Seven of Cups, it's just the card of opportunities being presented to you. um uh in terms of things that like make you happy. So if we're talking about like cups, right? So you're being presented these different cups to choose from, and you have a lot of different choices to make, which can be a little overwhelming, admittedly, sometimes. But paired with the Four of Wands, I think actually it's fairly positive. It means that you won't necessarily be bored, even though you are finding that stillness and finding that rootedness. You can still really enjoy those opportunities that are coming toward you, because I think you have the energy to do so. So, yeah, it does seem like you have some exciting stuff, but it doesn't seem like it's just like one exciting thing. It just seems like you have a lot of other excited things going on. Now, this is interesting. I'd love to explore the details of that. Um, Yeah, Rabia, we don't see your question. I'm sorry. You're welcome, Leah. Um, Phantom Hunk, you're up next. Rabia, if you're able to try reposting it again, we don't see anything. Hi, Lamas. Welcome to the queue. Yeah, Robbie, it seems like there's some technical stuff going on, so I won't count that as like missing your spot. Go ahead and post your question, try it again. YouTube generally doesn't filter things, but every once in a while it does. I don't know. Luna, what are you doing? What are you doing, Miss Pam? Yeah. You want to say hi to all your adoring fans? Want to say hi? Luna says hi, y'all. Oh, okay. Thanks for confirming. Alrighty, Llamas, go ahead, put your question in the chat. Hey, Sky, how are you doing? I know, I'm almost done. Luna comes and lets me know when it's time to get off live. She usually comes, Vi, please don't put your question before I call you. I call everybody in order. So Llamas, I don't do third-party readings, so if Anwar wants to come back or contact you, it's up to him. But if you have another question, feel free to ask it. Yeah, Hatsan, let me go ahead and close the queue. Everybody who's in it is in it. Yeah, Llamas, let me know if you have a different question. Happy to do something else. Luna, gotta be all up in my grill. Oh, Apollo too? All right. Both cadets are in here. Yeah, I'm almost done. They're like, it's time to sit on the couch and watch TV, Ma. Alrighty, Llamas, let's see if there's a chance. Oops, sorry, Luna, I bopped you. I'm so sorry. So, no. You have the Queen of Wands here, and then you have the Nine of Swords. They're fueling, but really in a negative kind of way, where the Nine of Swords is a card of like anxiety and just overall negative weight on you, and you start to internalize a lot of negative energy, and it will affect the energy you give off as the Queen of Wands, the inability to be that like nurturing, inspired person. So yeah, I don't think that there's a real chance between y'all. Whether you get back together or not is a little different, but like I don't think ultimately it will go anywhere, even if y'all do. Alrighty, Sky, you are up next. Yeah, Vaishali, I don't do like third-party readings. Like, I won't read what so-and-so is thinking or feeling or intending about you, because it's like reading someone's diary to me. You know, if you really want to know those things, go ask the person, in my opinion. Alrighty, let's see, Sky. So remember, if you guys missed your turn, or if you just enjoyed your readings and you would like to come back, stop it, Apollo. I am live on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Hi, Luna. All right. Last card. So we have the Three of Wands, the World, and Strength. A lot of major arcana this night. So, I think that Luna. One second. Luna Andromeda. All right. Goodness. So, I feel like this reading is asking you to be really, really deliberate about your plans for the future. So, like, just kind of existing is not going to make things or shape things in the way that I think sometimes people people expect. So the Three of Wands is really saying, like, what is it, first of all, that you even want your love life to look like? And then the World card asks you to find those steps to achieve it. The World indicates to me that you do have the capability of doing so. There is that ability to achieve those goals, whatever those goals are, right? And you have the inner fortitude and strength to do so. So you are able to move forward. You are able to shape that path that you go down. Um, sorry, I'm reading the comments. Yeah, she was like digging in a bag for no reason. She's gonna suffocate herself. So, but the World card being in the center of your reading really tells me that things are overall really positive. I feel like you have like a good opportunity here, like a good energy overall that you should probably latch onto in order to move forward. If what you're looking for is to attract love to you, this is now the time to do it, in my opinion. I'm in the cards for opinion, really. Okay, Vashai, you are finishing us off. Last but not least, yeah, it was like a bag that she pulled out, a plastic bag, and she's weak sauce for bags. So usually I have you're welcome, Sky. Thanks for hanging out. Usually I have those like reusable shopping bags, so she can't really suffocate herself in a cloth bag. But it was a plastic bag, and she was like rolling in it. She'd get a timeout if I could catch her. We have the Six of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the Rebirth card. The Rebirth card is actually a specialty card. Let me look up what that says in the guidebook. It comes after the World in this deck, but it's part of the major arcana. It says the Rebirth card symbolizes new beginnings, transformative change, and journey towards self-discovery and rejuvenation. So I think that overall, I think that you might find, I want to say it's like a mentor, or like overall just someone that you feel like you can look up to and reach out to and learn from, with the Hierophant here in the middle. And it feels very much like you're being very generous towards them, and they in turn really help you tap into the side of yourself that you can really learn how to transform and learn to be like the better part of you and put the better you forward. So it feels very much like this overall energy is asking you to reflect and also like reshape how you move forward. So in terms of like what's coming towards you, I feel very much more like you are coming towards you, like the better side of yourself, the side of yourself that you want to be putting out in the world. That is the you that is coming out. That is you like shining through. So part of it is being able to put that time and energy in with the Six of Pentacles being able to learn from people or get help from people that can help you put that foot forward, and then ultimately being able to reshape yourself and rebirth yourself. It's almost like a combination of like the hermit and death card, where you're transforming yourself but also reflecting on how to be a better you. So overall, it feels like this is very much a very interesting journey. It feels really important. So give yourself time. Don't try to necessarily rush through it, and be patient with yourself. Alrighty, guys. Reminder, I will be live on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Sil and I are going to be live next Sunday, so not this Sunday, the 28th, where we're going to be doing our tarot time, and we're going to be doing a group flip through of a surprise deck, which if you come next Friday, I will show you what deck we're going to be flipping through. All right, you are so welcome. Thank you for being patient. Alrighty, guys, make sure you like this video. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed so you don't miss future videos, and I will see you guys on the flip side. Have a great weekend, and thank you guys for being here, and shout out to my lovely mods, Hot Sun and Luke. You guys kill it as always, and I greatly appreciate you. Alrighty, bye y'all.